Hi, so it's Sonia Devine here. This is my second painting this morning. You know what I think? I'm asking a lot of myself here. I only had like 5 hours sleep because I was picking up Erin from work because her car is not working. And despite my rigorous refusal to harbour thoughts, Nisargadatta or something like that, I'm actually, there was a setup here in advance. I was thinking I'll get 2 paintings done today, even in an hour. I was thinking I'll get a couple of paintings done in an hour. I had this kind of unrealistic expectation, I suppose is what it was. And that's a fairly harsh whip now to be handing to my creative self. And it takes a bit of the attention off the work in hand, or really off the play, and puts it on the expectation. And there's a quote about expectation too, isn't there? About the one surefire way to squeeze any happiness out of anything. I don't know who said that. It wasn't those exact words, naturally. Anyway, so I'm just telling you, I don't know how to deal with this because I still seem to be wanting to do the things. And, well, I do. The best thing I can do is to take the next step. I mean, I could lay down and have a sleep, but I think what I'll do is I'll make a start on this painting. And I'll just see how it goes. Like, the last one I did, I was fairly energetic. As I painted it, it became more energetic. And I'm looking at it now, it's the painting of the sunflowers. No, it's not, it's the foxgloves. Painting of the foxgloves. I'm looking at it over there, it's dry and ready for the next layer, but it was that would take more summoning up, I think, than or it would take a bit more discernment and kind of gumption to carry that on, rather than to make a playful beginning to this one. So I'm going to ease myself. I'm going to give myself a slightly easier option here. Having started with the more risky option of the foxgloves, I'm now going to allow myself to enjoy the playfulness of the beginning of this painting. And I'm happy with the foxglove so far. Happy? Well, I'm still inspired by the surface that I've made, and I can see that there would be a good way through it. I just don't know what that is yet. And I don't think I have the energy to kind of go all guns blazing at that. So, however, I do have the energy to return to this, one of my favourite jugs that I got from Veronica. And I'm going to make a start by putting some collage paper down to describe the jug. I think really, like, I can still make, even from a place of feeling a little bit tired, I can still make stuff. It doesn't have to be, I don't have to be completely on fire the whole time, like. And I don't have to know for sure either. Like, the thing about this, I think sometimes, right, is that when, it's like what Shakespeare said, nothing is or is not, but thinking make it so. And nothing, why did I say that? I had something profound to say there, didn't I? I was like, the thing about this is, what is it? What's the thing? That, oh yeah, I know what I was going to say now. I have done paintings when I haven't felt confident that are stronger paintings than ones that I was in love with all the way through. And I had deluded myself into believing that what I had done wasn't good enough when I wasn't in great form. And in actual fact, the paintings themselves didn't really read as being that different. In fact, some of the ones that I did, and I remember one in particular, I did a painting of daffodils in this lovely big blue jug, and I was so despondent at the time that I saw nothing in it at all. But I had done a video, or I had taken photographs of it, I think, before I chucked the solvent. I chucked the white spirits at it and washed it all away. And when I looked at the photograph after, And a few people have asked me, have you still got that painting? Kind of interested to buy it. Like, when I looked at it after, I thought, that's completely daffodil. Like, they're daffodils. Even although there was very little detail in it, I felt daffodils from it shining out. And it was amazing how my temperament on that, doing that painting was so at odds to shining. It's a funny thing, you know. So that was a good lesson for me to not lose heart, really. Yeah. So here we go anyway. So there's the... I mean, it's easy to say that. Sometimes it's just impossible to not lose heart, I suppose, you know. But I like that as a reminder that even when you think the chips are down and stacked against you and everything, you never know. You never really know. If you're seeing it clearly, actually. There might be something that you're not noticing about the situation that could be redemptive. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to pick up some green. Here we go. I've got loads of paint out since the last picture. Because I think green is, even although there's an awful lot of yellow and other colours in this setup, I feel like green is a good one to hang it all together. Especially a darkish green. So I'm going to put out some dark green here. This is a hooker's green. It's not, you know, it's sap green. I thought it looked a bit light. And I had plenty of sap green out already. So I put out some hooker's green here now. It's a bit darker. And I think hooker's green on its own would be maybe a bit too colourful, so I'm going to mix it with some of this greeny, browny, reddish paint that I used in the foxgloves. This is a fairly small brush to be doing the opening stages with, so I'm using a bigger one. There we are. If in doubt, I would err on the side of going bigger, especially at the start. Especially at the start of your painting. You want to create especially at the start of the painting, you want to expand out the way and just, you know, rather than be timid. Inject a bit of energy early on. I'm just going to put the touch of Payne's Grey into, so I've got my eyes half closed now, and I'm using the Payne's Grey there because it's a bit darker, and it will be a good foil for the lighter flowers when we go to paint them. I'm just going to tear a little bit off that is a bit of a rigid edge. And there she goes. Water never goes astray. You know, that's quite colourful, isn't it, that green? But I'm liking it, so I'm leaving it. You can always bring the darks in later on. The thing with the foxgloves, I tend to go quite dark with them. I don't know what that's about. I suppose there wasn't an awful lot of colour. You know, it's really just the purples. Everything else was the grey background and the green leaves. But here it feels appropriate to have a bit of lightness to the thing. What next now? So there's a good swathe of yellow and yellow here and here. With the handle of the jug here. Tabletop. Tabletop's kind of exciting as something I could use the stencils on, I think. And maybe also some collage too. Use that as a reference for the colour anyway. No, there doesn't have to be a very, there doesn't have to be a precision. Sometimes precision is more like perfection, and it can become a very sharp blade to kind of cut things with. Whereas the torn edge and the more organic flowing way can be satisfying. What was I thinking of doing? I was thinking of using a stencil to describe the tabletop. Not only that, but I'm going to do something I've not done before, which is always exciting to me. If I can find my masking tape. There it is. I'm just going to do that because I want underneath the stencil for it to be clean edge. And I think this colour here isn't unlike what colours I've just put on there. We're allowed to play, aren't we? We are actually allowed to play. So what I'm doing here now is I'm putting some paint on one side with the roller, and then I'm going to clean the roller a little bit and use it to flatten the colour on there. I'm wrapping myself up in the microphone. Okay. There we are, it's grand. Now, what next, I wonder? I was kind of wanting to let that dry a little bit before putting something in for the yellow, but I think it's dry enough now. And so I could lob on something to describe those yellow flowers there. I'll go with the cadmium yellow, because I think the cadmium yellow is the colour of the centre of them anyway. Maybe the outside actually. As I squirt it out, it looks like it might be the colour of the outside of them. I'm enjoying using the roller because it takes the onus off me to make a mark happen. I don't have as much control of it. And it's suiting me today. So far anyway. So you see what I'm doing there now? I'm lifting up that yellow, and I'll paint it on in the direction of the, oh, it's after picking up something else. Let's see how I go with it. It's alright. Could always use a bit of collage, because when you spread yellow over green, it does tend to pick up obviously the green underneath. So I might need to paint white before putting the yellow on top, or I might use collage when I'm painting it more later. When I'm painting these flowers more later on. And I think it's alright, like, but I think they're a bit more lemon yellow than cadmium yellow actually. It's kind of nice because I don't have so much of a pressure on me here for some reason. Maybe it's after Melvin chatted to you earlier. I feel like I'm just letting it do its thing and see what, because I trust that I'll be drawn to do something as the painting progresses. See there, now I'd rather that be white underneath those flowers. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. That was my mantra there the last few days. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. These little star-like flowers are beautiful, aren't they? I was telling you I was going to confess some more things about the flowers, and I actually stole those from a neighbour's garden. They were kind of extending into our garden though, and there's plenty of them. You wouldn't know. There's just a flurry of these lovely yellow daisies. I thought to go and ask them, but sure, it was late last night when I set this up, and I thought I'd be going in and waking them just to say, can I take, and I don't think they, anyway, that's my justification. What am I doing next? I suppose I'll go up and make a start on the foxglove and the flurry of other flowers there. Sometimes I'd say we're kind of in the mood for doing the opening stages of a painting, and other times we're in the mood for doing the fine tuning. And I feel like the mood this morning is the opening stage mood, which is good because I wanted to make progress on a few pictures. We're heading to Ireland the weekend. We're heading to Ireland on Saturday. And as usual, there's a few jobs, you know the way, going away. There's a lot of things, isn't there, to sort. Right, so that's Daisy there. That's right. And then there's another Daisy up here. There, kind of. And then there's the foxglove that's wheedling its way around. It's actually more central there now, so that Daisy. I'll just plant the centre of the daisy. Drops down to the centre of the jug, really. So that could be the centre of the daisy there. Maybe a tiny bit higher. There, maybe. And then above that is the foxglove, and it bends that way. Kind of a love-hate relationship with foxgloves, I think. Sometimes. But at least the daisies are going to hold their own there. Only this one is kind of splaying into the light. It's quite nice where it meets the dark. I think I might end up doing a bit of Payne's grey background here too. You know, sometimes I like to just leave the background white. But let's say today now I'm going to do a little bit more. Today I think I won't leave it white. Oh God, look at that. It's a gorgeous colour though, isn't it? I love that colour. What is it called? Blue. I don't know, I can't read the rest of it. Yeah, there's a lot of it. What am I going to do with that? I suppose I might be able to use it. It's not that colour though. Right, I put it on here anyway for the geranium that's hanging down. That was my original destination for it. Beginning to explain that geranium. I'm going to put it back. I'll just put it in this thing there. Might use it later. And I've got a purple here that does look to me to be the colour of those lantern-like flowers. I forget the name of them. I don't know if I ever knew the name of them. There's these ones here. And there's some over there too. And beside the daisies, and beside the yellow spray of whatever they are, there's some too. And I think I could use some of this other purpley colour there. And then foxglove colour. Foxgloves here. Don't know where I did the yellow stem in the foxglove. It's not very satisfying to me. Okay, now there's something about this. I need to lose that purpley stuff a bit. So I'm going to use this roller. Because honestly, there's a bit of like, I think actually, I wonder if it's surrender and just see, or is it edging on not caring enough? That's a terrible thing. Because while it's helpful to have an air of abandon, it's also important to honour the process, you know, really, I think. And not to lose heart, like I said. I don't think I am. All right. Is it a case of pushing the river when I've not got the energy, do you know? I'm not sure. But we'll see what lessons I can learn from it anyway, sure. Sometimes there was an exercise, I think it was in college, that we were encouraged to do an exercise where you just give yourself 5 moves to finish the painting. That could be kind of a helpful thing to do sometimes. But I want to first drive myself into a place of liking the painting before deciding that I'm going to finish it in 5 moves. Yeah, sometimes it's okay. You know, it's okay because the thing is, what's the thing? The thing is that there can be more risk-taking involved when there isn't such preciousness around it too. And along this edge, I'm going to use my Payne's Grey. Made that decision. And then I might stop for a little while, do my yoga, meditation, and find some equilibrium in myself again. You kind of want to give yourself the very best opportunity to do your best work, don't you? You know, finding ways to ease yourself into the process, and I'm still finding there's different things on different days. Some days it's better for me to straight out of bed or straight after dropping Lily, which I did this morning, to go straight into painting. Other times it helps me to do my meditation and yoga first. But I've liked the from bed to easel kind of I've liked that plan, that structure. It kind of causes me to I suppose I feel like I've accomplished something too early on, and it doesn't have to be precious. The reason I'm making this a precious thing isn't because you're there or anything like that. It's because I've got 2 paintings to do for Saturday, and I think I've put a touch of pressure on myself about that. As soon as there's an outcome, and these don't have to be the paintings. It would be good if they were though, because that'd be that ticked off. I'm also maybe going for a trip to the sea on Wednesday painting, so I might be able to do boat painting as well. But again, I feel like I'm restricting myself into deciding. I'm sure the universe has got a plan for these 2 paintings that maybe doesn't involve me getting all definitely doesn't involve me getting all head up about it. So the best I can do is just play, I think, and get out of the way myself. I think that's the thing to do. And it's a lovely thing to have complete free rein as to what I'm going to do for these paintings. So complete free rein to decide whether I do flowers or boats or whatever it is takes my fancy. Not a bad old job, is it, in fairness? Not a bad old job. Not a bad old job. So I reckon that the curtain and so the Payne's Grey will end about there. Mhm. And there's some Payne's grey behind there as well. Of course, the curtain carries on down below those lovely yellows. And when I turn it back up, I might be able to lift out the shape of the handle of the jug. Let's see how that goes. Morale is everything, isn't it? Keeping the faith. Keeping the faith. I'll do another splash onto the grey bits. Yeah, I was going to lift out the handle. Let's see. Seems like those yellow flowers have arrived lower in my painting than they are in actual fact. I might end up doing something over the vase as well to re-establish it again. I kind of lost the bottom of it there a bit with the stenciling. It's kind of nice then to find it again and decide what best to use to find it again. Yeah, I think the thing is when we're safe, fewer risks are taken. When we're being safe, like there's a butterfly there now that on a different day I might have landed it there, but so I'm going to do that now and let that be the wild card thing. Yeah, it certainly feels to me like this isn't a momentum I would have around finishing a painting. It's more, I would trust myself more here to begin it, but again, that's just my thoughts. I would trust myself more that it's a kind of a time to begin a painting than to make all those clear decisions that are needed when I'm finishing something. Because as I work, I'm recognising the tiredness isn't abating really. I'm not finding a font of energy anywhere. So this can be a way in for when I've got a bit more energy later on, perhaps even this evening. There's a nice light comes in the evening as well here. It's looking good so far though, isn't it? I feel like it's a good start. It looks good on the screen. When I look at it this way, I feel a bit despondent about it. But it's going to be all right. What am I looking for now? Looking for this. I think these lovely white flowers that are there could be nicely described by a bit of stenciling. But first I want to put on some more dark underneath so that the white stenciled flowers will really sing out through the dark foliage behind. So this is Payne's grey I'm applying with my finger. And while that's drying, I'm going to put on some fern shapes. With this stencil too. The fern that I'm looking at isn't a bit like that though. I think I might pass. I think this might pass it. Where am I going with it? The fern is about here. It's not really at all fern like this, but it's better than me trying to paint the individual fern fronds. And I think as long as it undulates up there, it'll read as fern. And if I can find something for the top of it, dropping down. It's alright. And by now I think that dark might be dry enough for me to print on some of that lovely stencil. Oh yeah, here it is. Those white flowers that are under the daisy there. This is a Christmas stencil, so it's really, I think, a snowdrop shape. Come on, is it going to work? I think so. Just stick down my collage pieces a bit more firmly. You know, the thing about daisies, they're great and a still life, because when you paint in a daisy, it can make sense about everyone else. Even already it looks a bit daisy-like, doesn't it, that big one there? And I've got a second one that'll have, you know, with my eyes half closed, the left side of that one looks brighter. And what I might do is revisit this with oil paint next. So when you next see me, all of this is nice and clear. And I'll just have a Rembrandt-esque palette of oil paint, and I'll just put some touches here and there, capture the light on the petals, and maybe put in a wild card. I was wanting a red flower somewhere, but I see that might disturb things immensely, so maybe I won't bother, and I'd have to steal it or buy it, because I don't have any red flowers here. But I could always, like, I could make that or those sunflowers instead of that spray, but I like the spray. I like the spray of them. I think what I'll do is I'll put some dark greens in between, so that when I do come back to do my oil paint pièce de résistance kind of final thing, that's totally out of context. Pièce de résistance, I don't know where that came from. When I come back to do the oil, I'll have the foil of the dark leaves in between as a thing to respond to with the oil paint. And when you go, I might put this painting on the ground as well and sprinkle on some alcohol ink and play a bit more. Do you know what? I'm not going to do that without G, so I'll do another little video of that as well if I do bring this one onto the floor and play around with it. I'll do a video and share that on YouTube as well. That was me trying to put in the darks there. It's not really very dark though. A little bit more Payne's grey. Because I want there to be it to be significantly dark before putting on the brights and the yellows. I don't know why it started so low down. That roll of yellow is a bit off. Oh, I forgot I was going to wipe away some of the splashy background to see if I might reveal a nice surface. Maybe a bit late wiping it away. It's all gone already. It's all dried already. Now white there. Right, some white daisies there. And that one, of course, over there is white too. I'm not sure, I'm kind of reluctant to put in the brightest whites at this stage. And put a little dance of Payne's grey behind that. I'm going to put some of that nice lighter grey, if I can find, there it is. I'm going to put some of this lighter grey where the curtain is, behind the foxglove there. Outline the curve of it. It's an unusual curve, but I think it's alright to put that in. I don't think it looks too odd. It'd be better if I had a straight one as well though. Let's see if I can find, if I can procure another foxglove from somewhere. I don't want to cut it off my potted foxglove plant. It's a good year for foxgloves, they seem to be plentiful. Took some photographs of them over at Flotterston the other day. There's a whole flurry of them beside the field, on the edge of the field of corn or something. I like that grey colour. I feel like it works nicely too with the yellow. It's not really this colour behind it here, but I wanted to put it there because I think it helps. And before I let you go, I think what I'd like to do is put something on the bottom of the table there. I thought some kind of pattern would be quite good there. Or even just a clean area of green. Yeah, I think I like that there. I think if I tried to make more of a mess, I wouldn't be able to manage it. This is about as messy. Like everything, I'm just letting stuff land where it falls. But it's not a great idea to do that like all the way through, you know, I think it's helpful to have pauses where there's a bit of regrouping, and that's what's going to happen when I say goodbye to you guys, I'm going to, I think, either tidy up straight away or go and do a bit of yoga on the grass and my meditation, and then do the regroup, do the tidying up in here. Like, really, everything is everywhere. And it's a bit reflective of my mood. It feels to me as though, you know, I'm everywhere. Like it's looking okay though, isn't it? It's interesting that I feel a little bit dissipated, diluted, yeah. And diluted in kind of dirty water, like, it's not nice diluting juice. It's dirty water. But so, and then everything is everywhere. But there is something, it's almost like, I think it's good actually, because what it feels to me like is, I've been considering this about nature, you know, underneath the soil, how there's a kind of a teeming, fecund, kind of humus-like, warm, purring, humming, buzzing, wormy, alive, compost-like stuff under the surface of the ground. Like by its nature, it's chaos. It's like everything wheedling into everything else and totally being, like, losing shape, actually decay, and, you know, worms eating the soil and creating different textures, and all of it merged together in this chaos, like a city. It feels like a city of insects and murky, you know, decayed stuff under the earth. And from that, then, it's like the mud and the lotus, you know, but from that, the most exquisite shoot of green emerges in spring. Like, there's something really gorgeous and delicate and transparent almost in its beauty that arrives out of all of the mulch of leaves and detritus and the warm, alive carrion. So maybe this is like the warm, alive, kind of moving, icky, ucky, dirty, earthy, soily, bleh, like everything merged in together, and that it needed to be messy. Am I am I making a good case for this now, do you reckon? Am I making a good case for it, or am I just talking nonsense, like my friend with her bullshit button? I don't think so. I feel like this is actually, it's been playing in me. It's been in my belly. My belly feels a bit like that too, with the amount of food I've been putting in it. It feels a little bit like there's a chaos of merging things together, and that it'll be some sort of bountiful, you know, creations occur. I don't know how. There's some kind of alchemy, isn't there? Catalysts, and no mud, no lotus. Here we go, anyway. I'm going to put on this darker one now, and I'd say that might be my, I was going to say my pontificating done for the day. But I'm coming back here, and I'll be back, as they say, hasta la vista. I'll just tear off a bit of that. I think it's a bit, okay, it looks okay. I was going to tear off the bottom of the green, but I think I leave it as the bottom edge of the painting. And I'll just secure the other bits of collage. And I think then I might be, well, I was going to say I might be finished with the collage. We'll see. I was thinking that I might use, instead of collage, I might use the oil paint to lighten and brighten those yellows in the petals. And then the jug is something that I would like to place before saying goodbye. I'm going to use a curve of the stencil. And I could use some of this now as well to finish off, to give more clarity to the edge of the handle here on this side. It's a different shape. I was making it too arched there. Gas is not how you can get trigger happy towards the end of something. Well, towards the end of me and deciding to stop there. Off I go again, like. Off I go again. I forgot there's the option too of using chalks and oil pastels and things. But there's something in me wants this to be I had the word sensible painting there, that's terrible. Something in me wants it to be a painting more than bits and pieces of everything. So I think what I will do is use this as a backdrop for the oil paint and just extract some things from here. I'm not so keen on the shape of those purples, so I might make them into something different, like fuchsia or something. I can always look at some photos of paintings that I did before of fuchsia and sunflowers and different things and bring those in if I want to. Just here, I think I need something different there. Okay, so anyway, there's a fair bit of musing about what's going to happen there, and I don't know if it's a bit boring, but I'm going to stop. I feel a little bit ladronic myself. I think that's the Irish word for boring. Ladronic, I think it is. Okay, definitely extending, like pulling things, extending out the whole conversation so that it's torture, I'd say, for anyone watching it. But look, I'll bring it closer to you to see what happened there, because I think it looks a bit more established from far away, when in actual fact there's that chaos I was telling you about, isn't it? But it does too feel to me like these flowers that are in front of us here. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself. Or hard on myself at all. And I hope you do the same. And I hope you have a lovely day. And I'll see you for the next stage of that, step 2. Bye.